Live from New York, it's Wearable Electronics with Becky Stern.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. It's December 2nd. With me today is my fabulous co-host, Jess, Director of Community Sport and Publishing here at Adafruit.
Thank you for having me back.
Thanks
I'm
for coming back.
excited to be here.
And we're going to talk about your favorite topic and why you're here, wearable electronics. What's on today's show, Jess?
Let's check it out. Some sneakers.
Oh, no.
We love this project.
We're going to debut our new revamped Firewalker sneakers video today and also talk about some of your projects on the blog in our Wearable Wednesday segment.
Yes. Component of the week.
It's these super bright 3-watt Pixie addressable LEDs. Learn more about those later.
Mm-hmm. What are you wearing?
What are you wearing, Jess?
This.
That's the Mayo armband. We're going to be talking a little bit about our first look at that later on in the show.
And Becky will answer your questions about wearables, and we'll give away a Flora.
If you have questions about wearable electronics, you can ask them now in the live chat, later in the YouTube comments, on the Google+, on Twitter, on the Adafruit blog, all those places, and we'll gather them up, answer them on a future show, and make you eligible to win the show's giveaway. Today's giveaway participants are already in the hat, and we'll answer your questions and give away a prize.
Okay. And what's the code today? It's sneakers.
If you would like to get 10% off your whole Adafruit order, everything except gift certificates and software, you can use code SNEAKERS all day long today. Sneakers.
Sneakers.
If you missed the Cyber Monday sale, you can use that one.
Yes.
Okay, Wearable Wednesday. This is where we, on the blog every week, we talk about the latest projects from the Adafruit community, the wearables industry, art projects, like just all kinds of cool wearable stuff on the blog every week. Jess contributes, I contribute, Leslie does, and others from the editorial team here at Adafruit. I wanted to draw your attention to our holiday gift guides once more.
We have some amazing gift guides up. And today we have a great gift guide from Leslie, $20 and under. If you are looking for like a Secret Santa gift for someone in your office, these are all really great options, inspired by the show Scorpion. So if
Good
you're
job,
a fan, check it out. It's a fun read.
Look, you can click on the gift guides category and you can see all the gift guides. We're releasing one every weekday, pretty much until shipping deadlines expire later on in the month. And last year, Leslie did a Big Bang Theory themed
like
gift
a
guide.
Hackerspace gift guide. Yeah.
It was really funny. Anyway,
Yeah.
So thanks, Leslie, for that. Check it out. Check out some of the other gift guides if you have anyone to get some gifts for this season.
And they're all on Pinterest too, if you want to just take a quick look.
Oh yeah, that's great. In tutorial news, Erin St. Blaine has a new tutorial on the Adafruit learning system, and it's with today's component of the week. Can you guess why? The Pixie LEDs and fiber optics. So she made
Gorgeous.
this really amazing
So
dress.
cool.
And also like the missing piece, which is the tutorial includes a 3D printable file that you can download for attaching fiber optics to your Pixie LEDs. We get asked frequently, like, how do you add fiber optics to NeoPixels? And really, like, you're not going to get a lot of light transmission,
Right.
Because the drop off happens really fast. But these LEDs are 3 watts.
They're so bright.
So really, as
Like,
she describes,
don't stare at them.
Don't,
or you'll
no.
go blind.
you'll be seeing them everywhere you look for several minutes. Erin goes through how to work with the fiber optic material, including heat treating it to get that spiral shape, which is really cool, and also how to couple them to the LEDs. And she says they're like at least EL wire brightness intensity throughout the skirt. So that's a super cool tutorial that you should check out, and we'll talk about the Pixies a little more later.
Yes, definitely. Okay. This is an awesome project from Leslie. We're giving Leslie so many shout outs today. Hey, Leslie.
Leslie should come visit soon so she can be on the show again. Leslie made this Northern Lights cowl inspired by her trip to Iceland, and I thought that was so sweet how she worked on her NeoPixel animations to mimic the Northern Lights color changes and also add a little bit of randomness in there. So it's just some really nice NeoPixel coding.
Very artistic, very pretty.
Yeah, beautiful result. Speaking of Leslie, she did an awesome, awesome roundup.
This show is dedicated to Leslie this week.
Every show is. She made a really awesome roundup of heated wearables that are like consumer products that are available now, including like a pair of heated insoles that are like USB rechargeable. I gotta say, wearables is like nuts these days, right? Like, Anyway, the whole roundup of like different jackets, and it's interesting to see or compare notes on like how the different jackets apply the technology. Like, do they do 2 panels in the front? Do they just do 1 in the back?
Right.
Where's the heating? Both like where they think it should go on your body, and then where is it most feasible to put like a slightly less flexible sort of like heating element inside clothes. And the running insoles I think are really cool because so far away from your heart, like your feet, if you're running in the cold. Could be super useful.
Definitely if you're like working outside, like.
Yeah, so neat. So that's a really cool
awesome.
to see that application gain more traction in the market. And check out some of those heated wearables in Leslie's roundup on the blog.
Yes. This one is one that I posted. I found on Vimeo from these guys, Gerard Roma and Anna Hambo. From Barcelona Music Hack Day 2015. It's a headbanging fedora, which is
It's so cool.
Very
it uses,
cool.
It seems like it's making the music with the motion of the head.
right. Yeah, it like makes the sound every time you.
It's got a Flora and the Flora LSM303 Compass accelerometer module in there for the sensing, and a NeoPixel for that light output and conductive thread. So. Nice job at Barcelona Music Hack Day. It's fun to see, like, oh, that sounds like a cool event. Like,
Yeah,
it's nice.
totally.
I love it when you guys go to these events and share videos with us. We love to post them on the site. So if you participate in a really cool wearables event, please share your projects with us. All right, so speaking of music and electronics, or electronically generated music, my friend Moxie is a fiber artist in Seattle. She makes really cool needle felted sculptures, like adorable little slightly twisted figurines. Like, she loves pipes and valves and like industrial equipment, remaking that kind of stuff in felt sculpture, just like amazing work. Definitely check her out. But she recently got a hold of some of our conductive fiber and a Dradio kit. And the Dradio, if you don't know, is a musical pencil. And she made it a musical felting needle.
I know,
So
I love that.
it's really funny because needle felting is like, you're matting the fibers to build up this 3D object, but the way you do it is by repeatedly stabbing it with a barbed needle. So it's already
That's
kind
gotta
of
be
like
like so satisfying.
It
Just
is,
like
yep.
It
It is pretty satisfying and fun. And the sound effect, which you guys are hearing at hopefully a low and tolerable volume, is just kind of adds to that because it's kind of like screechy and awesome.
It's pretty fun.
So she calls it the Feltio, and I think that's an appropriate name.
Yes.
If you are interested in, we have the fiber in the shop, and we have the Dradio kit in the shop, and if you're interested in learning basics of needle felting, definitely look at Moxie's site for some tutorials about making 3D objects with needle felting. We did a collaboration a few years ago that's a light up, it looks like a pinball bumper, but it has an
cool.
LED in it. So it's like an illuminated felt necklace.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Pretty fun. So yeah, felt is a fun way to play with electronics.
I like seeing what people do with the Dradio besides just putting it on a pencil too. I'm sure there's lots of other fun applications you can do with that.
Okay, that brings us to today's debut project, which is the completely revamped, we're calling them the Firewalker Lite or the Firewalker 2.0 Gemma vibration switch
By
sneakers.
popular demand.
Yeah, you guys vote with your clicks and your eyeballs, and we improved several features of this project, so check out the video to learn about them.
Okay, let's do it.
Welcome to another DIY wearables project. Today we're completely revamping the Firewalker sneakers to be better, lighter, stronger. Coming right up. To reduce the cost of the materials and accommodate a wider variety of shoes, we're going to use a Gemma microcontroller instead of a Flora this time around. Gemma just didn't exist yet when we first made this project. If you're wondering about the differences between the two, we've got a video about just that. You can find a step-by-step tutorial for this project on the Adafruit Learning System. The link is in the description. To sense the motion of your feet, we'll use a vibration sensor. This has a spring inside that closes a switch as it shakes around. The vibration sensor is a very basic switch, and Gemma's digital input can read its state. This is simpler than sensing and calibrating the analog Velostat pressure sensor used in our previous Firewalkers. NeoPixel strip is made of a flex PCB material that's meant to curve around surfaces, but it's not designed to bend laterally. On the original Firewalkers, the bend at the toe was vulnerable. To improve on the original design,
Let's insert some individual NeoPixels into the line, soldered together with silicone-coated stranded wire. Now the shoe can bend without fatiguing the flex PCB. Cut the sheathing down the back to fit the strip back inside. The last upgrade we'll make over the original Firewalkers is to miniaturize the battery. Alkaline packs are great for beginners, but they're a bit bulky for shoes. But attaching delicate li-poly batteries to your feet can also be risky. So I asked Noe to create a 3D printed pocket for the battery, made from semi-flex filament. Check out his video about how he put it together in 123D Design. Solder and test your custom NeoPixel strip before gluing the strip to your shoes. Use rubber bands to hold the strip in place while the glue dries. After the glue is dry, solder to Gemma and upload the sensor trigger code from the tutorial. Play around with the positioning of the sensor on your shoe until you're happy with the movement that triggers the switch. Sew the battery pocket to your shoe through the holes provided. Be sure to squeeze some E6000 in between the tape at the top of the battery to give the wires some stabilization and strain relief. You can give your circuit some splash resistance by heat shrinking the sensor and painting Gemma with some conformal coating or clear nail polish. How would you make this project your own? Let us know in the comments and show off your own electronics projects on our weekly Show and Tell Hangout on Google+. Thanks for watching, and subscribe for more wearable electronics from Adafruit.
Okay,
All right.
Thank you to Adafruiters Damon and Dano for modeling the shoes and doing some sweet skateboarding tricks.
Yeah.
It
So
was
cool.
a fun shoot, for sure. These 3D printed li-poly
I know. I remember
battery pockets.
last time I was on the show, I was like having handfuls of them.
I asked
Yeah.
Dano to print me handfuls of them to show them in numerous quantity and in different colors. Because you can definitely, this is a case where you can definitely pick your filament to match your shoes, or in this case to contrast your shoes. And it's really fun, way more fun than the black alkaline battery packs. So like now the battery becomes like part of the fashion statement, which I think is really fun, and then also way safer for the li-poly batteries. Obviously, if you're going to be doing skateboarding tricks, you want to be careful not to have any abrasion on your li-poly batteries. That tutorial is being finished up now and is really like new fabulous animation from Phil B, triggered by the vibrations switch, and just like a overall really fun upgrade to this classic project, now made even easier and with a lower cost bill of materials thanks to Gemma and the vibration switch. So if you've been waiting to build a pair, now is the time.
Yes.
I made a pair for my sister for Christmas 2 years ago. It was fun.
It's a good gift. It's a really nice gift. And if you want to get all the parts to make these fabulous sneakers, you can use the code SNEAKERS
Don't
for
pay full price.
10% off. Yeah.
Everything except gift certificates and software through 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time tonight.
All right.
Some shopping done.
Component of the week. What is it this week?
It's the Pixie LEDs, 3 watts. We have more information about them here written down to tell you, because it's very important, serious business to get it all very correct and accurate for you, the viewing audience at home. These are a really cool addressable 3-watt LED project developed by Itai Bensvi, and he worked with Lamore to make these, and they're really, really cool. They're 3-watt RGB addressable chainable LEDs. So think like NeoPixels times 10 brightness.
Yeah.
They can each use up to an amp of current, so they definitely need some beefy wires. In this picture, I think the power and ground wires are 10 gauge stranded wire. And they have they use UART serial for communication, which is a little different than the NeoPixel, but the library treats them very similarly in terms of how you write color animations and stuff to them. And they have a temperature sensor on board to help them be safe, because if they get really hot, they could burn you or the thing they're attached to.
Right.
And they also require that you update. They have like a timeout on the color on the LED. So if you have to send data to it every 2 seconds at minimum, or they will turn off as like a fail-safe. The NeoPixels, if you've worked with them before, if you like remove the data connection, once they're already a color, they just like stay that color until they get a new information. So these aren't like that. They will turn off so that they don't overheat.
Mm-hmm. And we have all this information on the product page and in the Adafruit learning system. There's a guide about them.
Yes.
So you can get all the info that you need to use these. Yep, this is it. It's about the size of a quarter. This is the back.
Really chunky. So there's your temperature circuitry and your control circuitry back there. And Itai, the designer, he wrote a page in the learning guide. So not only is there an Arduino library and some sample code you can download to get started, but Itai also wrote this page he wrote this page about designing it and the thought process and all of the different parts of designing it, which was really interesting to read from the designer's perspective. And also here he is, just looking blinding.
Lighting up the night like the stars in the sky.
Yeah, super crazy. So if you want to use these super bright LEDs, make sure you have a nice beefy 4.5 or 5 volt power supply, like from the Power Boost, or if you're using a live poly battery, or from like one of our USB packs, like the beefy tablet one, and or just a big like alkaline pack will work okay. And these are used in Erin's tutorial this week, which is why we picked them as the component of the week. This has been a commonly requested technique, working with fiber optics and LEDs, and it's not that easy, I don't think. It's like weird sort of fishing line stuff. Like it's very tangly, and like you have to have a very large craft aptitude. And also then for like NeoPixels or standard RGB LED brightness, you don't get a lot of payoff in your side emitting fibers. So what Erin explains in her guide that you should definitely check out on the Adafruit learning system is that these 3-watt LEDs, they're super bright, so the fall off results in still an acceptable level of brightness. And she shows you how to heat treat them to get them to stay coily by wrapping them around like a paper towel tube and heating them up. And then here that shows you how to use the 3D printed biscuit.
Yeah, I mean the fiber optics projects are advanced, but they always come out looking so cool.
They look really cool. Very good for costumes, like wedding dresses, like over the top crazy stuff.
Yeah, they're gorgeous.
And now you can 3D print this little piece that makes it easier to sort of like join all of the ends of the fibers up to the LED, because that's how they get the light transmission. So thanks, Erin, for writing that tutorial. And if you were thinking about doing a fiber optic project, that's a good one to base it on.
And don't forget to use the code SNEAKERS to get 10% off your order until 11:59 p.m., excluding gift certificates and software.
Jess, if I have some Pixie LEDs in my cart, do I get 10% off with code SNEAKERS?
Yes, you do.
Amazing.
Yay. Okay, so let's talk about the what are you wearing this week?
Okay, this came in the mail. The Thelmic Lab sent us one of these to test out. Fair warning, we're probably going to take it apart. And that's a compliment. It's a pretty interesting thing. So the Mayo armband is a gesture control armband that uses muscle sensors. You can see them in there inside the picture. All the way around, there's these metal contact muscle sensors, much like the one we carry in the store.
Yeah.
And
sort of hold it up.
It also has.
There's a photo there, so I guess everyone sees it anyway. But
whatever, it's cool. Jess is wearing it. She's
I'm
actually wearing it.
Yes.
And here's their official video of showing like some of the applications of this device. So it can do sense different gestures with the muscle sensors, but also has an accelerometer in it. So like those two things combined, meaning it can like do different control like gestures based on movement and muscle activity, which is really cool. It also has a vibrating motor inside to give you haptic feedback, like when you it's pairing. And I've seen some reviews, like the Wall Street Journal did a review about it and a little video, and is that right? Canadian reporter who tried it out, and I've only just started playing with it. We just got it in the mail, but there's a lot of advanced potential.
There's so many like potential things you could do with it. We were talking about this before the show, like all kinds of cool performance art, virtual reality stuff, gaming stuff, like you name it, like super useful, interesting device.
And they have a marketplace of apps and an SDK for Android, iOS, Linux, Windows, Mac OS 10. So you can develop your own app, or if you're a hardware developer that already has like a wireless device, like the drone that's powered by the phone, or the Sphero robot, for example, they make it easy to like grab the gesture recognition information and include it in your app. So you'll see if you go to the Mayo like app marketplace, there's several different apps available that you can try out. I like the one I installed for Android that's like a Tasker plugin, which is like an automating thing. I use it to like set my ringer loud when I get home, and it detects when it joins the Wi-Fi network, so I could have my phone like make a noise when if I can't find it or something, and it's in my apartment, which is most common.
Yeah,
like 8 ways to find your phone.
Constantly.
For me, I just started using it, and this is how far I've gotten, and the demo I showed Jess before the show, which is just kind of like calibrating the different gestures. And the main gestures that you'll use with the native app are open fingers, close fist, swipe left, swipe
Double
right,
tap.
and double tap to unlock the device. It recognizes those gestures really well, really fast. You can save a profile for just you, so it's even more calibrated to just your arm motion if you're sharing it with other people. And there is a Windows app for controlling Arduino through the computer, so you can have but I talked to Kevin Townsend, our RF engineer in Paris, and asked him about our Bluefruit stuff. Is it easy to connect it directly to like Bluefruit stuff, so you could have, build your own like Bluetooth robot that's controlled directly by this? And he says yes, but with a complete firmware rewrite. So it would have to be reprogrammed, the Bluefruit would have to be reprogrammed to act as a host and grab this information, but it's not impossible if you're an intrepid firmware developer. It only means that it's only a matter of time before that kind of thing is real. So,
and they're for sale now, right?
Yes.
You can order them online.
Yep, on Amazon, and then on their site, and then like through a couple other retailers, I think. It's interesting to see. This is one of those ones where like, oh, is it actually real now? Because it was came out for pre-order quite a bit ago, and
like a year ago, right?
Hardware is hard.
Yeah, definitely.
Like GoTenna took a year too. Like when I see like articles now on like CNET, I'm always like, is it real now or is it real a year from now?
Right.
I'll check back later.
Yeah.
So it's real now. It exists. It does some pretty cool things. It's a nice start, and I'm looking forward to seeing what else it can do in the future. And I'm looking forward to taking it apart.
Yes, us too. All right.
So if you admire our teardowns and want to support us doing more teardowns and reviews of wearable tech, you can buy some stuff. That's how we pay the bills around here. Not through advertising or sponsorship, but rather through direct sales of DIY electronics components so that you can build cool projects. Use code SNEAKERS.
Sneakers. Okay, so let's get to the questions.
Okay.
And the prize this week is going to be a Flora.
Flora microcontroller version 2.
Yes, and you can use that to make your Firewalker sneakers, or you could use a Gemma.
Yeah, you
can use either one.
Either one. And remember, if you have questions, you can ask them now in the live chat, later on YouTube comments. I gather them up from everywhere, the forums, Twitter, the Adafruit blog, all over the place. If you direct it to my attention somewhere, I'll find it, put it in the show, answer your question. Remember, it's about wearables. If you have regular engineering questions, save them for a little more on Ask an Engineer later tonight.
Okay. All right. First question. This is a bit of a stretch, but do you know how I can take the Firewalkers, would have to add an accelerometer and add animation to walking or running, like on the bike wheel messages? Like show how fast you're running, messages would start on the falling foot and the second shoe starts to accelerate past the other, display the message or mile per hour of how fast you're running in a flashing sequence of sorts.
Whoa.
So I think like persistence of vision is the goal.
George Robles, what a fancy project idea you have.
Yeah.
That sounds really cool and fun and possible.
Right.
But difficult. And I'm definitely not an advanced enough programmer to make it happen, but I have a general idea of how you could get there. And that is to start out building regular persistence of vision projects so that you have an advanced understanding of the timing it uses to display the images. And then because you're talking about altering the timing to the speed of your foot, and an accelerometer is not going to give you pure speed data of your moving foot.
Right.
But I don't think it's super important to adjust the blink rate as your primary like difficulty to tackle, because if you look at the Mini POV 4 kit or any of our persistence of vision projects, the speed with which you move the actual object that's blinking will just kind of like smush or stretch the image a little bit. And so you could get started with the Mini POV 4 and just try feeding it dynamic data, like from a sensor, to adjust the image. That would be one place to start. Also, you said you're familiar with the bike, the DotStar bike wheel project. You can, or the which is based on the spinning poi. You can take that code and try to dynamically adjust the image. And then, however, I think scrolling the message across both shoes is, I think, a little bit out there, because you'd need some like really high-speed wireless communication between the shoes, and I just think that it's going to get to be too bulky, too prohibitively expensive parts list. But one shoe, I think you could totally do.
Yeah, or I mean, I think just doing a different one on each, different display on each shoe, that would look cool still. Yeah,
so definitely like just make a bunch of persistence of vision projects, and then also make an accelerometer project, or maybe it's a GPS project that uses the speed from the GPS and then displays it, and then try to like mix the two together.
Yeah, definitely. And if you figure it all out, send us a video, because that sounds really cool.
For sure. And you can also, if you're using Adafruit parts, you can always post up in the Adafruit forums with what you're trying to do, and our dedicated engineers there will do their best to help you out, even including like helping you work on your code and stuff. So that's a really great resource if any of you weren't already aware of it.
Yes. Okay, next question is from Orpheus. Becky, why don't we see more wearables of common stuff like bags, coats, and hats? I wouldn't mind having the accent color of my clothes change into a different color the next day. Is the manufacturing process too hard?
Hey, Orpheus. Yes, manufacturing wearable electronics is difficult. There's a lot of moving, like strain relief, like parts durability in hard parts inside a soft material kind of challenges. However, there'd be more of it if it would sell, right? And so I did a talk. Where did I? Let's see. I've done a couple talks. Which talk is it? Can't remember. About like how the markets for wearables are going to start with the places like the safest bets, where companies who are going to go into. So like we're free to experiment with anything because we do DIY parts. So we'll make one thing that can be used for lots of different projects. You guys build cool stuff, and we collaborate on like what everybody's into, and we don't have to worry about making things at scale or like selling through inventory. The apparel industry is difficult and has, because there's goods on the ground that have to be shipped places and kept in a warehouse, and if you make them in order to sell them, but what if you don't sell enough of them? Anyway, so like companies like North Face and other winter sports folks were some of the first to put electronics in their jackets, because people who are, it's like a safe bet that skiers and snowboarders already are used to spending a lot of money on their gear. They're only going to make limited quantities, which means the price is going to be higher, and they'll like test the market that way. But you'll see that your assertion here is not the case. There are all kinds of electronics happening in hats, coats, and bags and shoes. This image I'm using is just a Google shopping search for LED sneakers, which are now like hugely widely available in all different kinds of,
and like all sorts of biking accessories now are integrating electronics. Not just motorcycles, like actual just regular bikes.
Right. So I think it's around. You just have to look for it. Some designers are like designer handbag makers are coming out with clutch purses that have a backup battery for your phone already built into it. So it's happening. I think that like it's in pockets places. Definitely in the LED sneakers pocket for sure.
Yeah. Okay. From Tech, is this device easy to adjust? Oh, this is for the haptic headband.
Yeah,
this
last week's project.
A question about that project. Is this device easy to adjust the timing on the fly without any USB input? Could be a great general timing reminder, that way for all manner of things where you do not want an audible alarm.
Yeah, that's a nice feature upgrade. And this haptic headband project that we released last week is very basic introduction to this controller board, and the code is like very, very simple. So it's designed so beginners can understand and then add on top of it. And I think a potentiometer or like a button panel or some other way to send input about like which time you want is definitely a easy and worthwhile upgrade to the haptic headband project. Just look for any project that uses a button panel or a dial, and you can adjust the duration. Like the motorized slider, camera slider, for example, it has like 4 times that it can, stretch across, like 30 seconds, a minute, or like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and an hour or something. So maybe you want to have like 4 different timer lengths, and then one of the like 4 switch membrane keypads, and then you remember that like button 4 makes it like 60 minutes or something. So yes, do that. It sounds great.
Yeah,
Send it to
sounds
us
awesome.
and we'll blog it up.
Okay, this one's from Ryan Neufeld. Can you use a drink? Oh, it's the same question about the haptic headband again. Could you use a trinket or Gemma for this?
So Ryan, the haptic headband is sort of meant to be a feature upgrade from the buzzing mindfulness bracelet, which was made with Gemma, as like a low power vibrating motor timer circuit that you could wear and set to a certain time, and it would just buzz every 5 minutes or whatever you set. And then the haptic headband uses the haptic motor driver breakout board to do gestures with the motor, so like a ramp up and a buzz buzz and like tapping motions and stuff like that. And I tried very briefly to compile it for Gemma, and it wouldn't compile. That doesn't mean that anybody who's savvy couldn't adjust the library to work on Gemma, but I'm not sure. And but I just control the motor directly with like the diode resistor circuit in the buzzing mindfulness bracelet, and then like so yes, basically the haptic headband was designed to be an upgraded version of the Gemma project. So, of course, yes.
Okay, let's give away a Flora.
Okay, will you choose a winner from the sticky burn hat? Give away time. Who's the winner?
The winner is Tech, asking about the timing on
great.
the haptic headband.
Okay, sweet. So now you have an extra Flora if you already had one that you were planning on building, or you have a Flora to base your upgrade on. So enjoy that Flora board. You can email support@adafruit.com to claim your prize, and Jess's team will send it out to you.
We'll send it out to you. And if you didn't win this week, you can still use the code SNEAKERS to get 10% off any of the stuff in the Adafruit store except for gift certificates and software. And that expires at 11:59 p.m. Eastern time.
Get some of that holiday shopping done.
Yes,
Oy,
definitely.
right. In other news, we still have tips newsletters and other newsletters at adafruitdaily.com.
We actually launched a new one this week. We launched biohacking newsletter. So now we have newsletters for wearables, just general electronics tips, biohacking, maker business, incoming.
Amazing. So sign up at adafruitdaily.com. It's completely separate from your store account, so we won't spam you or sell your information or anything like that. Just good information in your inbox.
Yes. I love reading them every morning.
Yeah, they're pretty fun. And then later on tonight, stay tuned to this place on YouTube, or also on Twitch this time. Whoa.
Yeah.
And
Periscope.
And Periscope over there. You can show off your own project on the Adafruit Show and Tell Hangout on Google+, so you can RSVP there to be added to the Show and Tell circle if you haven't already. Join, and you can show off your own projects. And then at 8, it's Ask an Engineer with Mr. and Mrs. Lady Ada. We'll show off new products, take your engineering questions, and much, much more.
Much more. And tomorrow is the 3D Thursday Hangout with Noe and Pedro.
They're back from Thanksgiving break with a hangout featuring the new Raspberry Pi Zero and their 3D modeling efforts around that.
Awesome.
Super awesome techniques, tips, your questions, customer projects, all kinds of really
I
fun.
have a discount code too.
Yeah,
So if you want to do some shopping tomorrow.
It's like this, but with Noe and Pedro and 3D printing. Can you tell we have like a structure in mind? So thanks so much for watching. We love to see your comments in the live chat room. And hello on Twitch if you're watching there. Be sure to subscribe to our channel on YouTube because we put out new projects and videos every week. And that really helps us out.
Definitely.
Jess, thank you so much for hosting again.
Thank you for having me. It was very fun.
Thumbs up this video for Jess, and see her again soon on the Wearable Show. But I'll see you next week.
Okay.